the last Wednesday race of our April series. We've got a full main. We've got people from Paraguay, people from Bolivia, people from Canada, and of course, people from the United States. We're going to have a great show. I am currently buying them some time to hit share, so if you're watching them practice right now, just know there will be a 10-minute main starting in about 1 to 2 minutes. They will be sharing, and if you're watching RC and wondering how we're doing what we're doing, it's very simple. We are on a game called VRC Pro, so Virtual RC Pro. You download the game, you make sure the game has the off-road package in there with buggies and tracks. And the track we're on today is called Silver Dollar 2, of course on the West Coast, beautiful track. And the folks here that are playing this game are actually playing with their Sanwa, Airtronics, Futaba, FlySky, KO Propo, whatever radio they use in real life, they're using them. And the way they're able to do it is very simple. They are connecting their receiver to a USB that then connects to their PC. And yeah, pretty cool that during the week we RC folks can race. There's a lot of folks that have tracks that are still closed. This lets them keep their skill set pretty sharp. Can one of y'all confirm if you've hit share so we can get started? Justin, were you able to share it?
I was able to share it with Texas RC, so hopefully
Perfect.
that's good.
Awesome. So y'all wanted some more time to share, so we gave you guys some time. Let's go ahead and start our race. Tonight we had Gary Crowell from Idaho. Actually, let me put the screen up so y'all can actually follow along to see how it happened. But pretty much we had a lot of folks qualify with us tonight. We're just going to show the A main. Gary Crowell from Idaho led the way with 11.527. Billy Cayley from Scottsdale, Arizona was right behind him with a 10.501. He missed the 11 lap club by 1.1 second. Next up, we have Alex Lim from Paraguay with a 10.515. I was talking to him earlier. Apparently, Paraguay doesn't have I think, an official language. That may be incorrect information, but the majority of folks speak Spanish there. And I was talking to Alex in English, and it's cool to know that he's going to a school where he's learning both languages. He speaks better English than me for sure. Next up, we've got Corey Tad, 10.516 from him. Then Canada, we've got to go all the way to Canada to get Mr. Bryan from there, 10.517. Then fly back to Florida, Steve Blogan with a 10.527. And keep in mind on this track, anybody running 10s and up is moving. Next up, all the way from, I believe, Czech Republic was Stan with a 10.527. Then Max is joining us from the States as well with a 10.528. So lots of folks right there in the 10 lap club. Then Maddie's joining us, and I think it's Mati's joining us from Paraguay as well, 10.529. Then Brad from Missouri with a 10.530. Then Jorge Pimentel from Bolivia with a 9.504. Then Justin Fowell from Minneapolis, Minnesota, 9.517. Then Derek Pryor from Canada. And who's down there? It looks like Andreas from Greece. Then Mr. Fries is there. So that's how qualifying went. Gary Crowell just joined in on the ninth spot. So
Woo!
that's interesting that Gary did join.
We're gonna have to drive through everyone,
Yep.
but that's no big deal for him.
Yep. And Hunter King is saying, yo, yo, back to you, Hunter King. You should have joined tonight. It's going to be a fun program. The main is full. All 9 spots are taken. I'm going to hit start race. So at this time, y'all get ready. In fact, let me give you all a 1 minute call. Does anybody need a 1 minute call? If so, speak up now in the next 10 seconds. Awesome. All right. I'm going to hit start race. In 30 seconds, we're going to watch the first a main that we're hosting with an entire 9 folks. Normally we like to do 6 to 8. Hunter King said he's getting ready for the INS, leaving tomorrow morning. Good luck, Hunter. We all want to know if you won that $1,000 race, and I told the guys since you were not on, we know you didn't win. So please tell me I was wrong. In 10 seconds, you guys will get to see these guys race. If there's some lag, it's normal. We loaded the server up. Right off the bat, we've got Gary Crowell making 3-4 moves. We've got a car flipped on its lid. Gary all the way in the mid pack. Alex leading the way. Jorge chasing him down. Maddie's all the way up to third. Gary's up to fourth. Hunter King said, "Nope, I did not win." Well, hopefully you were a top 3 contender though. So do tell us where you finished in your classes. This is a 10-minute main. We're expecting some really good laps to come around the 4 to 8 minute marker when kind of nerves set in. Everybody gets in their rhythm. We've got cars all over the place. Gary Crowell is chasing down. It looks like Jorge is leading the way with Maddie in second. Gary in third. Steve Belogan from Florida in fourth. Alex with the whole shot down in fifth now. Hunter King says, "I destroyed everyone in four-wheel drive." We're not going to talk about my two-wheel drive game, though. Hey, it's okay. At least you got some kind of game. Some of us just game online like right now. So cool to see you doing it in real life. Alright, so Gary Crowell all the way up to the 1. Alex is chasing him down, redeemed himself after going backwards a little bit at the start. Jorge from Bolivia doing a great job sitting in third right now. Steve Logan in fourth, Maddie in fifth, Brian in sixth, Max in seventh, Brad in eighth, and Justin in ninth. The entire group is covered by 6 seconds as of right now, so close racing. We've got folks running in the low 30s already. That is absolutely nuts. This is a fully loaded server, folks, fully loaded. It's got 100% load, 9 racers, 1 race director. Gary just destroying the field right now with his 30.2s, followed with a 30.5, then getting the commentator's curse, making a mistake. Maddie is 2 seconds behind him as of right now once they go across the start finish. Steve Blogan is coming along. He is in third, just 0.7 seconds behind him. Oh, what is Gary doing? Gary is drunk driving. I promise you, this is not Gary-like at all. Gary's had too many wines. Hunter King said Gary better hit a 28, which reminds me, let's look at some lap times. So, Justin Fowell with a 32.9 fast lap, Max with a 33.3, Brad with a 33.1, Alex with a 31.2, Jorge with a 32.2, Brian with a 30.9. So the first person in the 30s is actually Mr. Brian in fourth with a 30.9. Steve Logan with a 31.8, but he's 3 seconds clear of Brian. Maddie with a 31.2, and then Gary Crowell with a 30.2. Hunter, I honestly do not see anyone running a 28 today, just the way the server is. We've got 100% load, but I do expect Gary to dip into the 29s. Oh, he actually just did on lap 6. Gary dipped into the 29s with a 29.8. Steve Blogan will probably be in the 31s. Brian with a 39. Good speed, very tight cluster group of guys, but I just don't see anybody running a 28. So far, so good. 4 minutes on the clock on a fully loaded server. Nobody has dropped out. The entire field is currently still on the same lap. That's pretty decent. That will change in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, Gary's coming up on my tail.
Yep. I see it. That is the beautiful paint job from Mr. Justin Fowell as he goes outside of the track and wrecks it. That's going to let Gary Crowell pass with no problems. Now he's coming up on Mr. Max. Max is running a body that looks very much like my Kyosho MP10E Biddy design body. Jorge having a great race early on. He's now in 7th, just 1 second behind Brad. Brad's one of those people that are a little slow to get the starts, but once he gets in his rhythm, his consistency goes up. Let's see if I jinxed him. He's made 3 mistakes since we started talking about him, so I definitely jinxed him. That's going to let Jorge get in front of him. Right in front of both these two guys is Matty. I keep butchering his name. His name is Matut Gaiburu. Hopefully he'll come on the mic and tell us how to pronounce his name. His friend Alex Lim is right in front. Alex is now in the 30s with a 30.9. Great racing from both racers from Paraguay. The Florida, I was going to say the Florida resident. Actually, I can say that the Florida resident Steve Belogan, 31.8, not the speed from the last two folks, but he's in front of them. Hunter King just brought up the one topic that I'm sure nobody wanted me to hear babble my face about. He's saying, "What are your thoughts on the new Techno Truggy body?"
Oh boy.
Hunter, come on now. You can't open up can of worms like that when you know the answer to that.
Does anyone like it? That's my question.
Here's who likes it. Team Techno likes it, and all the bandwagon folks that are invested with $650 worth of a truggy, they like it. People like me that can think objectively will be honest and tell you it's fugly. Not even ugly, but fugly. It's the only truggy that can be parked right next to my Kyosho truggy and make the Kyosho look pretty, because the Kyosho truggy is also a very, very ugly body. Even with some of the most talented painters doing custom paint jobs, both these bodies will need a lot of work. So hopefully on the track, it's as good as the Kyosho Truggy, if not better. They did have a lot of 2 week times, 2 week times 2 years to get it dialed in. Honestly, the last three Truggies, the TLR, the Kyosho, were amazing. So I expect this Techno Truggy to be a really good fan favorite as well. I will also, for those of you that follow my stuff on some of the pages, I will also put an Associate body, a Mugen body, the J Concepts Finisher body, the Kyosho body. I'll put a bunch of bodies on the Techno, if I can get off my lazy butt in the next 7 days, and show you which other bodies fit, because just because Techno came up with that hideous looking body doesn't mean you actually have to run it. In fact, on my Kyosho, majority of the time I run the X-ray body, or the finisher body that J Concept makes. Hunter said, "I like the creativity and ingenuity of the body, but I'll be darned, it's a freak of nature." Yes, sir, it is absolutely disgusting to look at. But hey, hopefully it'll be quick on the track. Speaking of quick on the track, let's kind of see what is going on with lap times. Mr. Fowell with a 32.8, Brad with a 32.4, Max moving up 2 spots, 31.4 for him. Jorge keeps on going between 4th, 5th, 6th. Fast lap is 34.1. Yep, 34.1 followed by 32.2. Yep, he's all over the place, but definitely in the mid pack. Mati, 31.2 from him. Alex, his buddy, right in front of him with a 30.8, followed by a 30.8, followed by a 34. So two good consistent laps, followed by a slow lap. Steve Belogan is keeping both these young guns at bay. Steve Belogan is 15, 30, 45, 60, 5 times older than Alex, yet he is 2 positions in front of Alex. How's that for consistency, guys? Good job, Steve. Steve is now up in second, having just passed Brian Nisbet. Brian with a 30.8. Gary Crowell with a 29.6, making his way all the way in front, putting laps on the entire field. As of right now, the timer showing as the entire group on the same lap, Justin 1 lap down on them, then Gary 1 lap up on them. We've got somebody named Alexis Quintana. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Saying, "Go Alex and Mati." Looks like we got some fans from Paraguay watching their fellow Paraguay RC racers race. We are happy to host these folks. We are hosting out of Houston, Texas, but we got racers from 4 to 5 different countries racing with us tonight. If you want to join us, it's very simple. You just join the league, and then you could race with us by qualifying the entire week. And on Wednesdays, you can then race with us. We go live if we have a full main. If we don't have a full main, we tend to just do it locally and have a great time. Tonight's program will be fun. We will do our spin the raffle and see who wins that. And also, we will interview our top 3. So I'm hoping we get some different folks from some different countries on the podium so we can interview them. It's pretty cool to be able to do that. We are watching Gary Crowell. The time has expired. He's taking painfully slow to get around, but he did run a 29. Check that out, Hunter. 29.5 was his last lap, but then he tops it off with a 36.7. So Gary Crowell having dinner and barely making it. He's showing how he can reverse into pits right now because, of course, it's an e-buggy. It needs a pit stop. Still coming in with a 19:10:05. Racers, please do not exit the session. Please do not exit the session. That was a fun race. Let's see how the results look. I'm curious to see if more racers got into the low 30s. Hunter said slow. Well, Hunter, at least they made it to the main. All right, so this is our Silver Dollar
GG's,
2
good
A
run,
main
boys.
result. Yep, definitely good run. We will interview the top three, so please don't disconnect. Let me just quickly recap the race. So it looks like your top four guys, Gary, Alex, Brian, and Steve, on the same lap, 19 laps. Then in the middle, it was Mati, Max, and Jorge, and Brad. So literally four different countries represented there. We had them on lap 18, Justin Fowell with a 17 lapper. Justin's fastest lap came on lap 6, which was a 32.8. Then Brad, Jorge, Max, 31.8, 32.2, 31.4, 31.2 from Mati, Steve with a 31.6. It looks like Steve's fast lap was a 31.6. I'm not sure how Steve managed to drop from second to fourth there at the end, but that's how it went for him. Brian and Alex on the gas, both with the 30s right there, 37, 38, and then Gary in a league of his own with a 29.5. That is how they did. Let's go down to Parc Ferme to interview. We'll start with Brian Nisbet. So, Brian, how's your day going?
Pretty good, pretty good. It was a fun race. It's a tough track. That back jump, you just kind of throttle it and pray.
Wait till you find out what's the track for next week. It'll make this one look much easier. So tell us how the race went and how in the last 2 minutes you were able to make the pass on Steve Logan.
Yeah, if you saw my start, I went from, I guess I started third to last. I would like on that start at the back jump, you don't get that big run up. So when you're starting, it's like you're the first time you've ever kind of done that jump. So I completely messed it up. But tried to find my way back, trying to get more consistent in the middle there. And I had a shout out to Steve there because Steve and I had a great battle for like the last, I don't know, 10 laps or so. We went back and forth a few times. And I think in the second last lap, I passed him again. And then I held on that last lap. So it was a heck of a race.
Very good. And tell us what city you're from.
Up here in Ottawa, Canada.
Awesome. Thank you, and congratulations on your third spot. Let's go to our second spot winner, Alex. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Okay, Alex, so we talked a little bit earlier, but my viewers don't know who you are. So why don't you tell us where you're from, how old you are, and what's your favorite class that you like to race?
I'm from Paraguay. The city is Asunción. And I'm 15 years old, and I like the Nitro Boogie.
Very nice. You remind me of a racer that used to race with us by the name of Greg Harmer. He was also your age, and also loved Nitro Buggy. Luckily for him, in his city, they are racing real life. So, are you guys racing much in real life in Paraguay right now?
We're not racing that much. We raced like 2 times this year because of all the thing of the COVID. Yep.
Gotcha. Well, tell us a little bit about what brands you like to use, what kind of radio do you use, what nitro engine you use, and what's the buggy that you like running.
The brand that I use is the Kyosho, the MP10 TKI2. My radio is the Futaba 7PX. And the motor I'm running is the Adam Drake OS.
Oh, very nice. Shout out to Adam Drake, West Coast racer here. I shouldn't even say here in the States. Adam in the RC world is a global household name and helps racers all around the world. So shout out to Adam Drake. Alex, one of our racers, Hunter King, is saying congratulations, Alex. He will be racing with you guys soon whenever he can. Hunter is a sponsored TLR racer here stateside. I think he's older than you, but he's younger than me, so I'm going to say he's in the 20s. and he'll be racing with us when his schedule allows. So congratulations on your first podium in this league. Hopefully we'll see more of you next week.
Thank you.
All right, so Gary Crowell has joined for his interview. So Gary, first tell me how your dinner went.
I had, you might have seen it if you were on the Discord. I had the spinach salad, I had wings, I had chicken and bean nachos, and a couple of beers. It was pretty awesome. As we were heading out to dinner, my wife says, "Are you racing tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh, maybe."
Yeah, you barely made it. You actually logged in the 9th spot. So I'm glad you were able to make it. You put on a hell of a show. So it looks like you gave us the recipe for how to TQ and win from the last spot. So
Yeah.
that is, you said something to do with spinach, something to do with chicken wings, and for fuel, you said you used some beer. So that is the recipe on how to go fast, not to mention the million laps that Gary's probably put in this game. Tell us about if you like this particular track and how you're able to run 28, 29 second lap times on it so easily.
Yeah, great. A few years ago, this was not one of my favorite tracks. I was not competitive at this track, even at my own level. Like at the time, it was like sport level. And I ended up doing a lot of setup work and a lot of.
I
They
think,
won a few
okay,
races
you're
here
back. Gary,
in
hang
vanilla
on.
racing.
Repeat what you said in the